Every summer my family went camping in Wisconsin with a few close family friends. It became a tradition we looked forward to all year. And every single year my dad and his best friend Marcus would take all the kids on what they called a snipe hunt. If you've never heard of one, it's basically a prank adults play on kids. Snipes aren't real. My dad and Marcus invented ridiculous stories about them every year just to scare us. According to them, snipes were aggressive bird-like creatures that hid in trees and only came out at night. We were young, so naturally we believed every word. My sister and I were always desperate to finally see one. That year was no different. On the second night of the trip, my dad gathered all the kids around the fire and told us they'd heard a snipe near the RVs the night before. He swore tonight we might finally catch one. Every kid lost their mind with excitement. A few grabbed sticks as weapons. One boy even carried a wooden sword he'd brought from home. We genuinely believed we were heading into the woods to hunt some terrifying creature. As the sun disappeared, we followed my dad into the trees while Marcus supposedly went ahead to scout the area. About 10 minutes into the woods, branches suddenly shook overhead. Then Marcus came crashing out of the darkness covered in fake blood, screaming that the snipe had attacked him. Instant chaos. Kids screamed and scattered in every direction. I was only 8 years old, and unlike the older kids, I didn't realize it was all staged. I panicked and took off running as fast as I could. I don't even know where I went. Eventually I found a large bush growing against the base of a tree and crawled inside it to hide. I remember trying not to cry while listening to the woods around me. For several minutes everything was completely silent. Its legs were unnaturally long and thin, bending strangely as it moved. Large patches of fur were missing from its body, exposing gray skin underneath. Its head looked twisted and uneven like its bones had been broken and healed wrong. And the sound it made. Soft moaning. Almost human. I should have looked away. I wanted to look away. But I couldn't. The creature moved slowly through the woods while an overwhelming feeling of dread settled over me. Even as a child, I knew deep down that something about it was horribly wrong. Then, somewhere in the distance, I heard my father shouting my name. The creature stopped instantly. Its head turned toward me. Even now I still remember its eyes. The second it looked directly at me, every hair on my body stood up. A moment later my dad burst through the trees, grabbed my arm, and pulled me to my feet. He was furious and terrified at the same time, apologizing over and over for letting me run off. But I barely heard him. I kept staring toward the woods. The creature was gone. Not a sound. No footsteps. Nothing crashing through the trees. It had simply vanished. On the walk back to camp I tried explaining what I'd seen. My dad assumed I'd imagined it because I was scared. That night was also the night I learned snipes weren't real. For years afterward I convinced myself it had probably been a diseased coyote. But honestly, I never fully believed that. Something about the way it looked at me felt too aware. Too intelligent. Years later I came across stories about skinwalkers, and the description immediately brought me back to that night in the woods. Even now, sometimes during late bike rides or hikes, I catch flashes of it in the corner of my eye. Watching me from the trees.